In poll-bound West Bengal, the political temperature is surging, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi launching a full-throttle attack on the ruling TMC. Addressing a rally in North Bengal's Cooch Behar, the Prime Minister invoked the recent Malda incident where 7 judicial officers were held hostage for hours. He accused the TMC of running a Maha-Jangal Raj in Bengal, where even judges and the constitutional system is not safe. Listen in.
कैसे मालदा में न्यायिक अधिकारियों को बंधक बनाकर रखा गया। सोचिए, ये कैसी सरकार है, ये कैसी व्यवस्था है जहां जज और संविधान की प्रक्रिया भी सुरक्षित नहीं है। तो बंगाल की आम जनता की सुरक्षा की उम्मीद इन लोगों से कैसे की जाए? मालदा में जो हुआ वो केवल टीएमसी की उद्दंडता ही नहीं थी, ये इस निर्मम सरकार का प्रायोजित महाजंगल राज है।
PM Modi's remarks come a day after West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee alleged that innocent individuals are being targeted in Malda. She accused central agencies of bias, questioned the narrative around infiltrators, and claimed that the BJP is trying to create unrest ahead of elections.
কোনো অশান্তির মধ্যে যাবেন না, ওদের প্ল্যান হচ্ছে অশান্তি পাকিয়ে এলাকা থেকে 30-40 জন ছেলেকে তুলে দেবে দেখে দেখেতে। যেটা করেছে মালদার ঘটনায়, যে দোষ করেছে তুমি তার বিরুদ্ধে অ্যাকশন নাও। তুমি নির্দোষী লোকেদের কেন গ্রেফতার করছো? এনআইএ কার হাতে? মোটা ভাইয়ের হাতে। সিবিআই কার হাতে? সবটাই মোটা ভাইয়ের হাতে। ইডি কার হাতে? মোটা ভাইয়ের হাতে। বিএসএফ কার হাতে? মোটা ভাইয়ের হাতে। সিআইএসএফ কার হাতে? মোটা ভাইয়ের হাতে। বর্ডার কার হাতে? মোটা ভাইয়ের হাতে। তো মোটা ভাই, তুমি তৃণমূলকে চোর বলো, আর বর্ডার থেকে টাকা কোথায় যায় মোটা ভাই? তুমি তখন কি করো? মুখে লুকোপ্লাস্টার লেগে গিয়ে বসে থাকো। বাংলায় কথা বললেই অনুপ্রবেশকারী। তোমরা কারা? সবচেয়ে বড় অনুপ্রবেশকারী বিজেপি। তার কারণ হচ্ছে এরা ইলেকশনের সময় আমেরিকা থেকে এখানে আসে, এরা অন্যান্য জায়গা থেকে এখানে আসে। তার কারণ এরা ভোট দখল করে, এরা ভোট লুট করে, এরা গুন্ডামি করে।
Let's go across to my colleague Ridhita, who's getting us more details. Ridhita, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed a massive gathering in Cooch Behar where he raked up the issue of Malda, the violence that was witnessed and how the judicial officers were held hostage. And based on that incident, the Prime Minister said that not even judges and the constitutional system is safe in West Bengal.
Absolutely, you see that this has been the kickstart of the campaign in Bengal, which has been started by Prime Minister, and then it has started from North Bengal's Cooch Behar, and a very symbolic place it started off from, which is the Rashmala ground. Now remember, Rashmala has a historic presence, which is the 200 years since when the Rash Yatra had started from this place. So this is a very symbolic area for the Hindus, and exactly from this place today, Prime Minister has instilled his speech stating about the porous borders. Now Malda is also one of the areas which shares the Bangladesh borders, and it also observes the porous border. Here only earlier this week we have seen that 7 judicial officers were held hostage, out of which 3 were women and the rest were men. And as the Prime Minister talks about it, he said that even the judicial officers in this state is not safe. So how can people be safe here? She has also mentioned that what security lapses, the safety lapses that has happened under the rule of TMC government. He says that this is not only shocking Bengal, but it has shook the entire nation when 7 judicial officers were made hostages, that the Supreme Court had to take a note of this and had to instill cognizance into this matter. He has also spoken about the infiltration crisis that Bengal at the moment faces. Now, today when I stand in Cooch Behar, we understand that it also shares a border with Bangladesh, which is a very porous border, and this has changed the demography of the entire district over the area and over the period of time. Now, understanding this, Prime Minister says that this is the infiltrators have been immune by the Trinamool Congress party only because of their vote banks. Trinamool Congress is certainly playing their vote bank politics, and therefore they're immuning this infiltrators. Therefore, all this time when the central has been asking the state to give land, they have been saying that this is a matter of center and hence the state cannot interfere, and no land for fencing has been given. And therefore, day after day,
well,
this
on the issue
entire
of infiltration as well, now the war of words heating up with the TMC hitting back at the Bharatiya Janata Party. Ridhita, stay on with us. Meanwhile, as we are speaking about the issue of illegal infiltration and demography change, the Prime Minister alleged that the TMC is shielding infiltrators for vote bank politics and promised that a BJP government would act against them. He further warned that TMC is openly issuing threats against Hindus and playing a dangerous game of appeasement politics that has direct bearing on state's demography.
बंगाल में टीएमसी सरकार घुसपैठियों के बचाव में लगी है, इसलिए ये तृणमूल वाले एसआईआर का विरोध कर रहे हैं ताकि घुसपैठियों की पहचान न हो सके। उल्टा टीएमसी सीएए को रद्द करने की धमकी दे रही है, यानी जिन शरणार्थी हिंदुओं को नागरिकता मिली है, ये उनकी नागरिकता छीनेंगे और वो नागरिकता ये किसको देंगे? अवैध घुसपैठियों को, क्योंकि इन घुसपैठियों को टीएमसी अपना वोट बैंक मानती है। आपने देखा होगा अभी टीएमसी ने अपना घोषणा पत्र जारी किया, लेकिन उसका नाम उन्होंने बांग्ला भाषा में नहीं रखा, बल्कि उसे इश्तेहार कहा जा रहा है। इश्तेहार का इस्तेमाल बंगाल में किस लिए हुआ था? 1905 में मजहबी ताकतों ने बंगाल में लाल इश्तेहार जारी किया था। उसके बाद हिंदुओं का नरसंहार किया गया था। टीएमसी हमें उसी की याद दिलाना चाहती है। आपको भूलना नहीं है, यहां निर्मम सरकार में खुलेआम धमकी दी रही है कि एक खास मजहब के लोग बंगाल में हिंदुओं का रहना मुश्किल कर देंगे।
Well, adding to the offensive, Prime Minister Modi accused the TMC of cut, corruption and commission. He also raked up the SSC teacher recruitment scam, alleging that TMC ministers and MLAs are hand in glove and that the youth have been betrayed.
यहां सरकारी नौकरियों पर भी टीएमसी के सिंडिकेट का कब्जा है। बंगाल के हर युवा को पता है इस सरकार में इतना बड़ा एसएससी शिक्षक भर्ती घोटाला हुआ, कौन लोग उसमें शामिल थे? टीएमसी के अपने मंत्री और टीएमसी के अपने विधायक, ऊपर से नीचे तक पूरी टीएमसी सरकार इन घोटालों में शामिल थी। कट, कमीशन और करप्शन के खुले खेल में युवाओं के भविष्य के साथ खिलवाड़ हुआ है।
Well, on the issue of women empowerment, the Prime Minister highlighted the 33% reservation bill and urged all parties to support it in the Parliament, calling it a long pending right. Listen in.
हर प्रकार की मूल सुविधाएं बहनों तक पहुंचाई। देश की 3 करोड़ बहनों को लखपति दीदी बनाया। लेकिन ये बहुत आवश्यक है कि देश के लिए होने वाले फैसलों में भी महिलाओं की भूमिका और अधिक बढ़े। इसलिए हमारी सरकार ने लोकसभा और विधानसभा में महिलाओं के लिए 33% रिजर्वेशन देने का कानून बनाया था। 2029 के लोकसभा चुनाव से ही इसका फायदा मिले, अब ये सुनिश्चित करने का प्रयास है। इसलिए सरकार ने 16, 17, 18 अप्रैल को संसद का विशेष सत्र रखा है।
Moving on, ahead of the crucial Tamil Nadu elections, political controversy over national education policy is back and only escalating. A day after State Chief Minister M.K. Stalin criticized the three-language formula as a covert mechanism to expand Hindi into non-Hindi speaking regions, Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan hits out at Stalin, claiming his narrative of imposition is a tired attempt to mask political failures. Dharmendra Pradhan also said mischaracterizing a progressive and inclusive reform as linguistic imposition was aimed at creating unnecessary apprehension and confusion.
M.K. स्टालिन राजनीति ही कर रहे हैं। राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति NEP 2020 कहीं नहीं कह रहा है हिंदी ही पढ़ाया जाएगा। क्लास 6 से 10 तक 3 भाषा पढ़ाया जाएगा, इसमें से 2 भाषा भारतीय होगा। जिस राज्य का विद्यार्थी होगा वो स्वाभाविक उस राज्य की मदर टंग में पढ़ाया जाएगा। ये एक भय पैदा करना चाहते हैं। हम सबसे ज्यादा NEP कहता है तमिलनाडु में तमिल भाषा में ही पढ़ाया जाए। In Tamil Nadu, only Tamil should be the mother tongue. In Tamil language, it should be the primary education should be in Tamil language. According to it's a choice of the student whether they can opt for any other language. No here, any government policy of government of India is imposing any language on the students. No questions of imposing Hindi on any students.
Well, a war of words has erupted over the NEP row, with the DMK accusing Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan of not being truthful and alleging that the policy indirectly imposes Hindi, asserting that such claims will not work in Tamil Nadu. The BJP, however, has hit back, claiming DMK is trying to victimize marginalized students by denying them the opportunity to learn another language.
The regressive stand of the M.K. Stalin is clearly victimizing and affecting the marginalized and disadvantaged youth in Tamil Nadu who are studying in government schools, because it denies them of an opportunity which Prime Minister Modi ji has provided. Mr. Stalin only wants, the elite people in private schools, to benefit, and he does not care about the disadvantaged and marginalized youth of Tamil Nadu, which is why Tamil Nadu's youth will defeat this divisive DMK government in the coming elections.
Defend this policy brought by them, the leaders of the BJP, including the union minister, are being dishonest, not being truthful in telling the people of this country the facts, that it is not a flexible policy, it is an indirect imposition, because the guidelines within the framework indirectly imposes Hindi on them. Practically, due to the lack of resources, it becomes natural for majority of the people who are non-Hindi speakers to take Hindi as their third language. So it is very dishonest of Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan.
Let's go across to my colleague Dharni. Dharni, the Hindi imposition debate is back.
Looks like the Hindi imposition debate is back now. But right from the beginning, the DMK has been reiterating that NEP is an indirect way to impose Hindi and Sanskrit in the non-Hindi speaking states. They say that although the national education policy doesn't mandate Hindi to be the third language, it is an indirect way to impose Hindi or Sanskrit is what they've been telling. And now also the Chief Minister has said the same thing, and he's also went on to question how many PM Shri schools in North India genuinely offer South Indian languages such as Tamil, Kannada, Telugu, Malayalam, etc. And how many Kendriya Vidyalaya schools across the country teach Tamil is the question that is coming in from the Chief Minister. And he's also spoken about the funding, like how Tamil has not been getting sufficient funds for development, but on the other hand, Sanskrit, which is spoken by less amount of people according to him, is getting a large amount for its development. So these are the doubts and questions that are being raised by the Chief Minister, but the BJP is refuting all these allegations, calling this a poll tactic.
All right, Dharani, thank you very much for getting us the details. We're moving on now and shifting our focus to another poll-bound state, which is Kerala, where the battle is heating up, with now a major political controversy taking center stage. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge has sparked a row with his remarks triggering sharp reactions from the BJP. Mallikarjun Kharge, in a direct attack on Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, claimed that people of Kerala are too educated to be misled. He went on to claim that voters in Gujarat, whom he called illiterates, can be influenced more easily. At the same time, while praising the awareness of Keralites, Kharge said that you can't fool people of Kerala.
Don't misguide the people of Kerala. They are very clever. They are educated. Modi ji, Vijay, you both can fool people who are illiterate in Gujarat or in other place, but you can't fool Kerala people.
Well, the BJP has hit back strongly, calling Kharge's remarks against Gujaratis insulting and divisive. BJP says this shows the divide and rule policy of the Congress party.
Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge has once again made a shocking comment against people of Gujarat, people of North India. This shows the divide and rule policy of the Congress. They have abused people of Gujarat and Uttar Pradesh and called them illiterate just because they don't vote for Congress. So Congress loses election, they abuse Janta. Now they are abusing entire Gujarat. They are abusing North India. Does Gujarat Congress agree? Does Akhilesh Yadav, Tejasvi Yadav agree with this? It shows that Congress party wants to only divide the people. First they divided on religious lines, now on language lines, now on the lines of state. They always want to divide India and abuse the voters who don't vote for them.
Well, remember earlier Mahua Moitra also sparked a massive controversy by claiming that Bengalis led India's fight for independence, questioning the contribution of Gujaratis. Well, her words have sparked outrage as well, with the BJP calling it an insult to freedom fighters and also an attempt to divide. Listen into what she said.
Bengalis are a very proud race. We led the war on independence against the British. Who were the Gujaratis? When you go to Kalapani, who do you see? 68% of the names of the people who were killed in who were incarcerated in Kalapani were Bengalis, followed by Punjabis. Can you name me one Gujarati who was there? Apart from your big hero, Veer Savarkar, who only wanted to sit and write apology letters. Please let us know. Please let us know. And you have taken those people, and when we are working everywhere trying to earn an honest living, over 2,000 Bengali migrants, 2,000 documented, have been abused, criminalized, facing harassment, called Rohingyas, spat on, beaten up, lynched, pregnant women pushed across the border. This is what you've done to Bengalis. 107 Bengali workers have been rescued, not from unemployment, but from bondage, tied up in rooms, 40 people, 50 people kept illegally confined. I myself have called police in different states in Chhattisgarh and Maharashtra and got people released.